All right, everyone, welcome back to the Spotlight. We're here after the Europa League final defeat to Tottenham, and I'm just going to say and talk because I don't really know what else to say apart from what I've been saying all season about this side is they're unreliable, inconsistent, and can't beat Premier League teams. And we've gone into a physical game here against Tottenham where the quality of the game was abysmal from both teams. And Spurs have done a job on us. I had plenty of people, my mates, telling me before about Spurs' high line and the player high line, and I was like, that's good for us. We'll get him behind. All we can hope is that Ange is the clown that everyone says he is, and he does that, and we beat him on the break. But Poch has gone in there, changed tactically, played deep, played counter, roughed us up, and we haven't been able to handle it. And that's just the way it's gone. Poch has done I keep calling him Poch. It's not frigging Poch, is it? It's Ange. Ange has done a job on hammering. And this is coming out, well, God, a good few hours after the actual game. I've been reading the comments on all the big channels, been involved in the chat on there, and I can tell you now, the fan base is not happy with Amarim's team selection tonight and his substitutions. Personally, I wouldn't have played Luke Shaw. I'd have played Yoro left fullback. I would have played Mazwari at right fullback, right centre back, and put Dorgu and probably Dolo on the wings or Ahmad on the wing. And I would have put Bruno in 10 and Agate and Casemiro in midfield because we were playing. I was on FUTV before speaking to Adam, and they had Sarr, Bentancur, and Basuma in midfield. And I keep saying this against two midfielders for us. Casemiro has been very good for us lately, but we all know he's got no legs. And Bruno Fernandes, who is not a pivot player, and I will keep saying it. If we stick with Bruno Fernandes in a pivot, we are finished even more than we're already finished. His passing is awful. Basic passing I'm talking about. His positional play is awful. He's all over. Midfield's wide open as per usual. Bruno Fernandes has had all the kids like to call now a generational stinker in a European final as Manchester United captain. He will be here for 7 years next season. 3 of them he's been captain in our worst 3 seasons ever. There is no excuses tonight for any of them or what anyone says about any player, the manager or anything. But I will back up all my statements I have ever made about Bruno Fernandes, especially over the course of this season, that we will not miss him. 18 goals, assists in the Premier League. 11 of them are versus Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton and Everton. And 3 of his other goal and assist contributions are penalties. So 14 out of his 18 Premier League goal and assists are against teams that have been relegated or penalties. This myth that he's dragged us through this season, that he's saved us from relegation, it is total and utter bullshit. He's as bad against established Premier League teams as anyone else in that squad. I am not having this narrative that he saved us. Yes, I get the point. People say Bruno puts all the effort in. He fights for the club. He runs a lot. He loves the club. He does this, that, and the other off the pitch as a captain. I'm not questioning his love for the club, his work rate, his ethic about staying fit, his ethic about wanting to win. I'm questioning his quality, and it is not there. Proven again tonight in Manchester United's biggest game in, I don't know, probably 10 years since our last European final. I don't know, the last time, whatever you want to class as our last biggest game, this is it. This is apparently the game that's riding on the club being able to stay afloat or basically car crash into oblivion. And our captain is putting in a performance like he's been on the fucking piss the night before. I don't get it. And I don't get the thing about Bruno, and this is the last thing I will say about Bruno's. We all say we need new strikers, 10s and wing backs. What is Bruno's position? It's a 10. And if we're saying we need 2 new 10s, a new striker, a new wing back, why are we all shoestringing him in as an 8 or a 6? Because he can't play there. Especially in the Premier League or against Premier League sides. He can do it in Europe where the pace is slow and he's not pressed and he's got loads of time on the ball. In the Premier League this season, it's proven Bruno Fernandes is not a pivot player. I don't get why people cannot see that. I was shocked he was starting in the pivot last night. I can't, and it proves the point. I mean, like I've just said, Amorim has also dropped Garnacho. It proves the point that Amorim wants a couple of ball-playing 10s. He said a long time ago about Bruno that he don't think that he's a ball-playing player, that he needs to calm himself down. And then he's got rid of Garnacho out of there, who we all know he's not a ball-playing 10 either, and played 2 ball-playing 10s. I actually don't mind an Ahmad Mount 10s. But if you're going to be shoehorning Bruno Fernandes into a 6 to accommodate him, just play Ahmad right wing back and put Bruno at 10. Or like everyone was saying last night before the game, stick Bruno as false 9. Because Højlund, again, was he even on the pitch? You know what I mean? Like, was Højlund on that pitch last night? Because he may as well not have been. I don't even remember him doing a single thing. Not one. Another stinker. Another person who had a stinker, who also shouldn't have been starting. For more reasons why, if you go watch my old videos or old chat about him, he is a joke, Luke Shaw. What is he starting in the European final for Manchester United when he can't be asked to lace his boots at any time of the season? And he goes into our biggest game in 10 years. Luke Shaw is not as good as you all think he is. Again, I've made videos about his stats versus other fullbacks in the Premier League. Go watch it or go look at them on Transfer Market or something yourself, and you'll realise Luke Shaw is not this incredible talent you all think he is, especially not 5, 6, 7 years after he's had his leg broken. He should not have been on the pitch. And Onana, I mean, everyone's saying he moves like a snail for that one. I do get it. I think there's other more agile keepers that save that, but I wouldn't 100% blame him for the goal. The ball comes across the box, it ricochets around 2 or 3 times, comes offshore and ends up going in. I think there's a chance any keeper ends up letting that in. But I'm not letting him off because he was shocking for the rest of the game as well. And he's been shocking for the year or 2 that he's been with us. I mean, we absolutely are in car crash mode, aren't we? Kieran Maguire put a tweet out straight after the game last night. Someone had asked him how much is this costing Man United. It's something like 25 mil in sponsorship, 70 mil in TV rights for not getting in Europe, and another 20 mil in like gate receipts or something for obviously not being in European games. So over 100 million of lost revenue from last night's game. And all the speculation for the last couple of weeks is, are we getting Gyökeres? Are we getting Kuna? Are we getting Delap? Are we getting so-and-so? Let's go out and get him, them and the other, whatever you want to call them these days. The fact is it's all gone. It is gone. Gyökeres is gone. I think Delap will be gone because if Chelsea or Arsenal or someone want Delap and they're in the Champions League or even a team in the Europa League, why is he coming to us? I think we are shafted for a striker. We're going to have to either find a kid or a random from somewhere. I mean, we might end up with Delap if we're lucky. But what else? Where else are we going now? Unless we basically cave into Osman's demands and give him 350 grand a week just because that is all we can do to get a decent striker in. Yoro, I think, was all right. Maguire was okay, I guess. I mean, he is what he is, isn't he? I think Shaw was crap. Dorgu was probably one of our better players, but still bang average. Mazwari, I think he's a better right centre back than he is a wing back. He's not got the attacking attributes to be a wing back. I would have played Mazwari, Maguire, and Yoro, and just put Delo. If he really wants to stick with that midfield and them tens, put Delo as a wing back. It's just the choices Amorim made yesterday were just bizarre in some circumstances. And I mean, I'm quickly going to talk about Amorim now for 5 minutes or so, and that is going to be the end of the video. Amorim come out after the game, say he's not going to quit. But let's face some facts here, right? Some harsh facts, and there's loads of fans out there who are berating Amorim right now for his stats, his win rate, and everything. We've all heard the Paul Jewell stat. He's got a worse win rate than Paul Jewell at Derby County, who only got 11 points in a Premier League season. We've all heard that he's got a worse win rate than Gary Neville at Valencia. We're 16th in the league. We've got 9 points since January. We haven't won a Premier League game since March, and that was against Leicester. I think somebody said that the last 9 games since the last international break in the league, we haven't won. And look, I get what people say about Amorim coming halfway through the season. He's changed the system. They're not his players. I get it all. But surely in however many games he's had now in the league, 25, 26, even if the team don't get his system and stuff, you win more games than that. It's not just the players to blame for this. And look, I will say this before I get into anything else. If I had to choose between the players leaving and Amorim leaving, I would choose the players because we've been here 5 times before. At least we know that Amorim is saying the right things in interviews and press conferences about what needs to happen. So I'd rather he stayed and every single player in that squad got sold. So I am Amorim in now. Come Christmas, when he's probably had 4 or 5 players bought, and we're still playing a 2 in the midfield and a 5 at the back, and we're still getting beat, then I will seriously question him, because I've said on here before, I don't think this formation works in the Premier League. I was willing to give it a try, something new, but over the course of this season, I've seen that we either sit with 7 at the back and defend our own goal and play counter football anyway, or we go and attack teams and we don't have a midfield. And whether a couple of players, and I've said it on here loads of times, I've said it on every other channel, this system does not work in the Premier League without 2 world-class number 6s. Not an 8 and a 6, not 2 10s, an 8 and a 6. 2 6s. We need 2 prime Casemiros, 2 prime Kantes, 2 Rodgers, so they can do the work of 3 midfielders. We can't keep going up against Premier League teams who play 3 athletic, strong, physically capable, ball-playing midfielders in the Premier League against 2. It happens at the basics of Sunday League. You go out and you play a 4-4-2 at Sunday League against a team that's playing a 4-3-3, and you get overrun in midfield and you change your midfield to a midfield 3. It's that basic. I think at this moment in time, Amorim wants his system to work. We're all saying he ain't got his players. But the fact of the matter is, I think even if he gets all of his players, the system is still a massive question mark. because it has come out of Ruben Amorim's own mouth that the Premier League is different to Europe. Physically, technically, running-wise, strength-wise, pace-wise. So how do you compete with a 3 versus 2 in midfield without having a world-class 3? I think it's just not going to happen. As much as we always say we need a striker and a 10, we absolutely, desperately need 2 defensive, ball-playing, central midfields that control games on the ball, not off it. And we have none of them. Look, Amorim's in a massive, huge position here. Like now, there's probably going to be huge talking points. I think he said after the game, if the board, the fans, the players are not behind him, get rid of him. And right at this moment in time, from the comments I have seen on everyone else's videos, that there is a huge amount of fans out there that are basically saying get Amorim out. Whether it'll calm down in the next day or two, whether it'll calm down at the Villa game, I don't know. But there is going to be questions asked of Amorim by the board, probably by himself. But for me, he has to stay. And if he gets sacked halfway through next season, but he's got rid of a load of this squad, I think Amorim will be always in United history as the guy that started this change, whether it works for him or not. And that's the one positive thing I will say about Amorim. Everything he said is correct. And if we do end up in 3, 4, 5 years' time, back near the top, the start will have changed with Amorim. So I think in hindsight, what Amorim's saying, if he can get players out of this club, United fans will always remember Amorim for what he did to kick off the next generation and the rebuild of Man United. The fact is, though, can he do it himself and take us to where we want to be? I think the question marks are massively out. But like I say, I want him in. I want players out. And I want to see what he can do when we've bought in 4 or 5 players. They're probably not going to be the players he wants anymore. But he's the one, and the fan base are the ones giving him the time to do apparently what he wants to do, and he's going to get another year to do it, and and probably the summer window. And I don't think he will get sacked unless we're in the same. If we're in and around Europe, he won't get sacked, because let's not forget his contract runs out at the end of next summer. So Ineos are not going to pay him off when he can walk for free anyway in the summer. So he will have to be on the same vein of form we're on now to get sacked, or he will just ride it out to the summer and we'll look for a new manager when his contract's up. But yeah, tell me what you think about the final. It's one of the worst finals I've ever watched. Imagine paying all of that money to go to Bilbao, whether you're a United or Spurs fan, and watch that. It's a crap advertisement for the Premier League. Spurs fans won't care. United fans are in an absolute meltdown. You tell me now we haven't got the Champions League, we haven't got the money, who you're buying, where you're replacing, and also tell me your opinion on Ruben Amorim. If you want him, think he should be sacked, or I don't really know what else to say other than the club is in the pits. And I will actually just say this. I know there's a protest going on Sunday before the Villa game. I think the 1958 are doing it. That could spill out of hand. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the 58 cancel it, because after what happened last night, I can imagine there is going to be some seriously pissed off United fans at Old Trafford on Sunday, and it wouldn't surprise me if shit kicks right off. But that's all I'm going to say on that. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And it wouldn't surprise me, right, if Man United go out and beat Villa on Sunday and it's all smiles and the players are all happy as Larry and thinking they've done it, and then they piss off to Malaysia to do 2 shit friendlies abroad to make money. instead of staying here and facing the music. But that is all I've got to say on that. That's the club's problem, not really the players' problem. It's a huge job, massive job to sort us out. Some people say us not being in Europe's a good thing, more time on the training pitch. We might buy more players with less known and rebuild more of the squad than going out and spending all our money on big names. Again, none of us can predict what's going to happen. It's all hope. We will only know where this club will end up come probably Christmas into next season and see if there has been change or not. All the speculation between now and the summer window closing and performance on the pitch, we're basically on a 6-month delay to see if anything is going to change. And that is where I'm going to leave it. Hit me up in the comments. Please like, favourite, subscribe if you've got this far. I just talk raw United fact, well, not fact, opinion of my own with no other opinions thrown at me, no news, no sources, nothing. This is raw from the heart of a fan. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.